Imagine this. You're in bed with the woman you love. The moment you've been waiting for arrives, but your body doesn't respond. That sinking weight in your stomach, the quiet shame in your chest, and the voice whispering, "Maybe I'll never get it back again." If you've felt this, you're not alone. In fact, more than 70% of men over 60 struggle with erectile dysfunction, yet most suffer silently, believing their best days are behind them. That belief is a lie. And worse, it's dangerous. Because when a man loses hope, he loses more than intimacy. He loses vitality, confidence, even the spark that makes life worth living. I'm a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. I've looked into the eyes of men who thought they were broken, who thought no solution existed. And I've also seen something extraordinary, their transformation. Men who, after just weeks of using the right natural support, return with a smile, a spring in their step, and marriages that feel brand new. Here's the paradox. You've been told the answer is a pill, a small tablet that promises instant relief. But here's the truth. Pills don't heal, they mask. And when the effect wears off, the fear returns. But what if I told you that the real solution doesn't come from a pharmacy, but from nature itself? That for thousands of years, men have turned to powerful oils, rich in compounds that restore blood flow, rebalance hormones, and reignite sensitivity. Oils that don't just cover up dysfunction, but reverse it. And today, I will reveal 9 of the most potent oils ever discovered, each with a unique way of restoring a man's vitality. And the 9th. The final oil is so powerful that many men report it feels as if they've been given a brand new manhood in just 7 days. This could be the turning point you've been waiting for. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just know the oils. You'll understand why your body still has the power to come alive again, no matter your age. Before we begin, take a second to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss vital advice designed especially for men in their 60s and beyond. And I want to hear from you. If you're ready to reclaim your strength, type a 1 in the comments. If you'd like me to cover other natural solutions, type 0. Your feedback drives this channel. Now, let's begin. The first oil is simple, overlooked, and yet I call it the testosterone spark plug, because without it, your engine can't run. Topic 1. Let's begin with an oil most men overlook, but which I consider the very foundation of restoring male vitality, pumpkin seed oil. I call it liquid gold for the aging male body. Why? Because inside this humble seed lies one of the richest natural sources of zinc, the mineral your body cannot create testosterone without. Think of testosterone as fuel for your engine. No zinc, no fuel. And I can't tell you how many men in their 60s and 70s walk into my clinic with fatigue, low desire, and weak erections, only for their blood work to show the same deficiency over and over again. Zinc. Without it, the body simply can't build testosterone. And without testosterone, desire and performance fade. But pumpkin seed oil doesn't stop there. It also contains phytosterols, powerful plant compounds that directly improve blood flow into the erectile tissue. And remember this, erections are nothing more than a surge of blood. If your vessels are stiff, narrowed, or restricted, your body fails you at the very moment you need it most. Pumpkin seed oil gently reopens those vessels, restoring the circulation your manhood depends on. What does this look like in real life? Many older patients have told me that within just a week of using pumpkin seed oil, they noticed something they thought was gone forever, morning firmness. A subtle sign, but one that says, your body is waking up again. And that's what makes this oil so powerful. It reminds us the body isn't broken. It just needs the right raw materials and natural support. Pumpkin seed oil lays the first brick in rebuilding that foundation of vitality. And if that excites you, wait until you hear about the next oil. It has been called the cure for everything except death. And for men battling erectile dysfunction, its power is nothing short of legendary. Topic 2. If pumpkin seed oil is the spark plug for testosterone, then black seed oil is the ignition switch for blood flow. Across centuries, it has been revered and even described in ancient texts as the cure for everything except death. And while that might sound exaggerated, its effects on male sexual health are extraordinary. The secret lies in a compound called thymoquinone. This molecule boosts your body's production of nitric oxide, the very signal that tells your blood vessels to open wide, allowing warm, full blood to rush in. Without nitric oxide, no matter how much you want intimacy, your body struggles to respond. I remember a man in his mid-60s who came to me frustrated. He had tried pills, but all they gave him were headaches and disappointment. I suggested he add black seed oil to his daily routine. I told him to be patient, to give his body a week or two. When he returned, he was beaming. For the first time in years, he was waking up with spontaneous erections. His confidence was back, but more importantly, his hope had returned. And that's what makes black seed oil different. It doesn't fight against your body with chemicals. It works with it, gently repairing and restoring. Its anti-inflammatory properties soothe the delicate vessels that aging, stress, and poor diet have damaged over decades. It clears the path so blood can flow again, naturally, without the side effects. This oil is legendary for a reason. It doesn't just improve circulation, it revives the signal that makes erections possible in the first place. And yet, as powerful as this is, the next oil brings an entirely new dimension. Not only does it support blood flow, but it also helps your body restore one of the most vital hormones a man can have, testosterone. Topic 3. If black seed oil reopens the channels of blood flow, pomegranate seed oil rebuilds the very foundation of male vitality, your hormones. For centuries, the pomegranate has symbolized life, fertility, and strength. And when you look at what its oil does for men, that symbolism makes perfect sense. Inside this oil lies a rare fatty acid called punicic acid, paired with some of nature's most potent antioxidants. Together, they act like a repair crew for your arteries. I often tell patients that erections are like water flowing through a garden hose. If the hose stiffens, cracks, or narrows, the flow is weak. Pomegranate seed oil smooths and strengthens those vessels, restoring flexibility and resilience so blood can move freely again. But what makes this oil truly remarkable is its influence on testosterone. As men age, testosterone declines year after year, draining energy, dulling desire, and weakening erections. Pomegranate seed oil supports your body's natural ability to boost testosterone, not by forcing it with drugs or injections, but by reawakening the pathways that already exist inside you. I'll never forget a gentleman in his early 70s who came to me exhausted and discouraged. He felt half alive. Low energy, low desire, and intimacy had nearly disappeared from his marriage. After adding pomegranate seed oil to his daily routine, he returned weeks later with a completely different energy. His words stuck with me. "Doctor, I feel like myself again." His intimacy returned, his confidence rose, and his spark for life reignited. That is the gift of pomegranate seed oil. It doesn't just enhance performance, it restores vitality from the inside out. And as impressive as that is, the next oil will surprise you even more, because although it's usually marketed to women, it holds one of the most overlooked secrets for restoring a man's sensitivity and pleasure. Topic 4. When most men hear the words evening primrose oil, they assume it's meant only for women. And it's true. This oil is often marketed for female hormone balance. But in reality, it holds one of the most powerful secrets for men seeking to restore not just performance, but pleasure. The key lies in its richness of gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, an essential fatty acid your body cannot produce on its own. GLA is vital for the health of your nerves, the very same nerves that allow you to feel arousal, touch, and satisfaction. Without healthy nerves, a man may still perform, but the sensations fade, leaving intimacy dull, detached, and unsatisfying. I recall a 68-year-old patient who confided in me that while he could still have intercourse, it felt muted, as if the experience had lost its spark. We introduced evening primrose oil into his daily routine. Over the weeks, something remarkable happened. He described it like this: "Doctor, it feels like going from listening to a muffled radio to hearing a full orchestra again." The sensitivity returned, his confidence grew, and with it, his emotional connection to his partner deepened. Evening primrose oil also supports hormone regulation, fine-tuning the prostaglandins that influence arousal and erection quality. The result is sharper sensations, stronger responses, and a richer experience of intimacy. And this is why I call it the oil of restored feeling. It doesn't just bring back function, it brings back the spark of pleasure itself. But while evening primrose oil restores sensitivity, the next oil works on a completely different battlefield, the mind. Because the truth is, intimacy doesn't begin in the body, it begins in the brain, and that's where the next oil shines. Topic 5. Too many men believe erections are purely physical, but in truth, everything begins in the mind. If the mind is restless, anxious, or distracted, the body follows. Over the years, I've sat across from countless men who told me, "Doctor, my body still works, but my thoughts get in the way." Performance anxiety, stress, and the endless chatter of daily life rob them of presence and intimacy. This is where rosemary oil becomes so powerful. Beyond its familiar fragrance, rosemary contains compounds that increase circulation to the brain, sharpening focus and clearing mental fog. When the mind is calm and alert, a man can finally be fully present with his partner instead of trapped in worry. I'll never forget a man in his early 60s who confessed that he felt like a spectator in his own bedroom, physically there, but never fully engaged. I suggested rosemary oil, not only diffused but massaged gently into his temples each morning. Weeks later, he returned and said something I'll never forget. "Doctor, I didn't just get stronger erections, I got my confidence back." His wife noticed the difference too. He was more attentive, more connected, and the intimacy they feared was fading came back alive. But rosemary's benefits don't stop with the mind. It also helps regulate DHT, a powerful derivative of testosterone. Too much DHT can dull sensitivity and sabotage performance. Rosemary oil restores balance, ensuring a man keeps his masculinity without losing function. I often call it the oil of mental clarity and confidence, because when your thoughts align with your body, performance becomes effortless. And yet, as powerful as sharpening the mind is, there's another enemy that quietly destroys a man's sexual health: stress. And the next oil I'll share has been treasured for centuries because it breaks stress at its very roots. Topic 6. For thousands of years, frankincense oil has been burned in temples and used in rituals to restore balance to body and spirit. Ancient healers sensed what modern science now confirms. Frankincense calms inflammation and breaks the grip of stress, two of the most destructive forces behind erectile dysfunction. Stress isn't just a feeling, it's chemistry. Every time you feel anxious or overwhelmed, your body floods with cortisol, a hormone that strangles testosterone production and restricts blood flow. Over time, this invisible cycle chips away at erections, leaving men frustrated, disconnected, and hopeless. Frankincense oil interrupts that cycle. Its boswellic acids act like firefighters, cooling the flames of chronic inflammation that damage nerves, blood vessels, and even the prostate. At the same time, its aroma and compounds soothe the nervous system, lowering cortisol and restoring a state of calm where intimacy becomes possible again. I remember a patient in his 70s who had almost given up on intimacy, not because his body couldn't respond, but because his mind was always tense. He began diffusing frankincense before bed. Within weeks, he noticed deeper, calmer sleep, and then something surprising: the return of natural, spontaneous erections. When he told me, the relief in his voice was unforgettable, like a man finally laying down a burden he had carried for years. That is the gift of frankincense. It reminds us that confidence in the bedroom isn't only about blood flow, it's about peace of mind. And when stress loosens its grip, the body responds naturally. But while frankincense frees you from stress, the next oil works at an even deeper level by amplifying the very power of testosterone itself and reigniting sensitivity many men thought was lost for good. Topic 7. There is something timeless about sandalwood oil. For centuries, its warm, grounding scent has been used to inspire confidence, focus, and vitality. But beyond its fragrance, sandalwood oil carries a hidden power for men. It amplifies the way your body uses testosterone. Here's the truth most men don't realize. Even if your testosterone levels are in the normal range, it doesn't matter unless your body can actually use it. Think of testosterone as a key and your cells as locks. If the locks are rusty, the key can't open the door. Sandalwood oil acts like a polish, restoring those locks so the testosterone you already have works at full strength. I remember a man in his late 60s who had chased testosterone for years, supplements, injections, endless blood tests. His numbers improved on paper, but his energy, desire, and erections didn't match the charts. When he began using sandalwood oil, something shifted. Within weeks, he told me, "Doctor, it feels like my body is finally listening to my testosterone." His energy climbed, his erections grew firm again, and his confidence returned. But sandalwood offers more than hormone amplification. It also enhances nerve sensitivity in the genital area, restoring sensations that fade with age. Many men describe it as turning up the volume on pleasure. After years of silence, intimacy feels vivid again. This is why I call sandalwood the oil of liquid confidence. It doesn't just restore function, it restores connection, making a man feel alive in his body once more. And yet, as powerful as sandalwood is, the next oil brings something truly unique. It doesn't just energize the body, it balances it, calming the nerves while fueling desire, striking the perfect harmony between passion and control. Topic 8. At first glance, ylang ylang oil might seem delicate, often linked with perfumes and floral notes. But don't be deceived. This exotic oil holds one of the greatest secrets for men over 60. It restores the delicate balance between desire and calm. One of the biggest challenges my patients describe is performance anxiety. Too nervous and the body locks up. Too relaxed and nothing happens. Ylang ylang solves this by working on both sides of the nervous system. It gently stimulates the sympathetic nerves that spark arousal and blood flow, while calming the parasympathetic nerves that control relaxation and ease. The result? A man who is ready without being rushed, eager without being overwhelmed. I recall a retired teacher in his 70s who told me he loved his wife dearly, but dreaded intimacy because of the pressure. Every attempt ended in anxiety, and the anxiety only grew with each failure. We introduced ylang ylang oil, sometimes diffused in the bedroom, sometimes used as a light, natural cologne. Slowly, he noticed a change. His body was responsive, yet his mind was at peace. His exact words were, "I finally feel free again." Ylang ylang also nourishes the adrenal glands, the very organs worn down by decades of stress. By restoring their balance, the body can redirect energy back where it belongs, toward sexual health. Add to this its ability to boost nitric oxide production, improving circulation without the side effects of pills, and it's clear why I call it the oil of harmony. It reconnects the mind and body, fueling desire while erasing fear. And as remarkable as that is, the final oil I want to share with you is the true game changer, because unlike any other, it has the power to transform a man's confidence in as little as 7 days. Topic 9. And now we come to the final oil, the one that has left so many men shaking their heads in disbelief: pine needle oil. It might seem ordinary, pulled from the needles of a tree you've walked past 1,000 times, but hidden inside are compounds so powerful that many men report feeling transformed in just 7 days. The secret lies in alpha-pinene and beta-pinene, natural compounds that supercharge the way your body uses oxygen. Imagine your cells suddenly running on premium fuel instead of regular. Energy rises, stamina improves, and every organ, especially those tied to intimacy, performs at a higher level. But what makes pine needle oil a true game changer is its immediate effect on circulation. It is one of nature's strongest vasodilators, opening blood vessels wide and sending warm, full blood flow exactly where you need it. Many men describe a tingling warmth, a return of sensitivity, and firmer erections sometimes within minutes of use. And the benefits don't stop there. Pine needle oil also helps the body use testosterone more effectively while reducing inflammation in the prostate and sexual organs. For men over 60, that combination is priceless. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s reclaim energy, intimacy, and confidence they thought were lost forever. They don't just perform again, they feel alive again. And that's the message I want to leave you with. Erectile dysfunction is not the end. Your body isn't broken, it just needs the right support. With the help of these 9 oils, nature gives you back the tools to restore strength, confidence, and joy, no matter your age. If this video inspired you, take a second to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss advice designed especially for men in their 60s and beyond. And I want to hear from you. Type a 1 in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your vitality, or a 0 if you'd like me to cover other natural solutions in the next video. Your best years are not behind you, they're waiting right ahead.